Welcome back to Cooking with Kang. All right, today we're going to do something a little special. We're going to make a chili crunch, but not just any regular chili crunch, but we're going to have a special secret ingredient. Anyway, let's start off with what I will be using today. So I have dried chili peppers. These are Sichuan peppers. These are smaller seeds. These are, I think it's been de-seeded already. These. So try to find ones that have already taken the seeds out. If not, then you will have to take the seeds out yourself. But usually you will have to probably go to a Chinese or Asian grocery store, or you can probably order it online. I'll see if I can find some links online that I can post for you guys and make it a little bit easier if you don't have any Asian grocery stores nearby. Anyway, moving on, I have some dry anise seed. These is optional, but they do give you a lot of flavor. So if you can find this, you should be pretty easy to find this in any grocery store, actually. But yeah, I'm gonna grind it all up using my little spice grinder here. And yeah, going on to the other ingredients. So I'm gonna use garlic powder and ginger powder. So you could use fresh, but this is a quick, super easy, pretty much this is kind of an experiment also, because I've never done it this style before. And if it turns out great, awesome. If not, then, you know, it's always a learning lesson. But yeah, this today is going to be something that I've never actually made before. Anyway, for the other ingredients, I have fried garlic and fried shallots. So yes, you could fry it all yourself. And you could use fresh and fry it all yourself, but that does take a lot longer. So I've kind of found out this hack where if you just buy it already fried, you know, honestly, you know, you can't really tell that much of a difference. And then I have Maggi seasoning, and this will be optional. I'm going to see how salty it is before I add any of other salts in it. But Maggi seasoning and also soy sauce. So also sesame seeds. And optional is black garlic. I will try it without the black garlic first, and then I'll try one with the black garlic. But yeah, the black garlic it just makes everything taste really freaking good. And this brand I got at Trader Joe's has already been kind of like in pellet forms, so you could get it fresh. And I'll show you the ones that have fresh here. Let's see, where did it go? Yeah, so not really fresh, but I mean, you can actually get it in the garlic bulbs like this. And I got this at an Asian grocery store too. You would just basically have to like peel it and then mash it up. Having this will make it a little bit easier. But yeah, it has a great smell to it. It just has sort of this sweet kind of taste and just gives it a lot of this really good umami flavor. Anyways, going to the secret ingredient. Now the secret ingredient is an oil that's coming from, yep, bacon. Now you probably will see in the title, you probably already read that, oh yeah, it's bacon. That's what the secret ingredient is. But this is bacon that I've already fried up, and I will fry it twice to make it crispy. It's a little crispy right now, but I'm gonna chop it up into little bits and put it into the chili crisp. So that's what makes this the bacon chili crisp. And so this is the oil that came from, I've actually got more bacon in here, but this is from, I think, 8 to 10 pieces of bacon that are fried up. So it's not a lot of oil. So this chili crisp is probably going to be not so much oil like traditional ones, but probably more like on the dry side. But yeah, so this bacon, probably going to use 2 pieces. I'm going to go ahead and chop it up and then start frying that. And so in the meantime, in a non-stick pan, I'm going to start heating that up. You're not going to need any oil since you're going to be, you know, putting some bacon on there. But actually, let me get another piece. So 3 pieces of bacon. And I'm going to get my knife. I'm going to chop this all up and start frying it, because you want it super, super crispy. You know, like you want it like, you know, you want to make it as crispy as possible. And this bacon brand that I got, just some, I think it was a Market Pantry brand from Target. Probably would have been better if I used the ones that has a thinner cut that gets super crispy, like the kind you get at like, you know, Waffle House or something like that. You know, that really cheap bacon that just gets so crispy that just crunches in your mouth. But you know what? This will probably work fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut it up to little pieces and then basically fry it twice. I'm gonna put it back in the nonstick pan and give it another good frying. And that's gonna render out some more fat. That's gonna crisp it up even more. And that's gonna be the crunchy part in this chili crisp. I will add the garlic, fried garlic and the fried shallots. But, you know, like a lot of the traditional chili crisp, they use fermented soybeans as the crunch, or some of them will put peanuts in there. This one is mainly going to be bacon. That's what makes this bacon chili crisp, all right? So I'm going to have about this much. This is 3 pieces of bacon, probably about maybe a cup worth of bacon or 3/4 of a cup. And once you fry it again, it will kind of render down a little bit even more. So I'm going to start to get that going. And yeah, you know, you see all these different recipes nowadays for chili crisps. And, you know, a lot of them kind of have the same ingredients. Some of them will put lemongrass in there. Some of them will have, you know, different aromatics. But for the most part, you know, the basics, what you need is obviously the dried chilies and Sichuan chili, soy sauce, garlic, onions, depending on what kind of onions you want to use. A lot of people would use green onions, make a scallion oil out of it. Since I have the fried shallots, I'm not going to put any onions in there. All right. So while that is starting to heat up, let me just turn it up a little bit more. But yeah, I want to get this to render out some more fat and get it more crispy. And you definitely want to use a non-stick pan because the residual, a lot of the little bits in there, if you use a pan that sticks, it's going to like really mess up the bacon in terms of like making it extra crispy and not having it stick. See how like it's already starting to render out some of the oil? And that's what you want. And once this starts going, you're going to see it's going to be a lot more oil coming out of this bacon. But you definitely don't want it too hot. You want it just to slowly heat up and then it renders out, so you don't want to burn it. All right. In the meantime, let's grind up some spice. Let's see. I'm going to start off with the Star Anise. I'm not going to need too much of it. Probably just a couple of them. And this has like an amazing smell to it. That's sort of like a aromatic that's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's definitely an amazing smell. I'm just going to use 3 of them right now. It's not going to be too, it's very overpowering flavor, so I don't want to put too much in there. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, and this could be grinded up a little bit more, but I'm gonna put in the Sichuan peppers now and start grinding that up because I want this to be really fine. I don't want it to be a lot of big chunks in there. I do want it to be real fine. All right, so I have that's probably about maybe 1 tablespoon worth of Sichuan peppers. This batch is probably going to make about like maybe this size. We'll see how much it is after it's all rendered, the bacon's all rendered out and everything, but roughly maybe this size of a container, which is what I'm going to try to aim for. But yeah, that much Sichuan peppers. Let's grind that up. Yeah, you definitely want a really fine grind for this. All right, careful when you open it up. It's definitely going to have a kick. All right, so that's about it. Now for the dried chili peppers. I'm just going to pulse this a few times just to break it down a little bit. Okay. Ooh, you can already smell the spices. Spices smell strong, but I hear the bacon crackling, so I'm gonna give it a little A little stir here so they don't burn. Yeah, so like I said before, when I rendered out all the bacon, this is all the grease I was able to get out of it. So not a lot. You could substitute in a little more, or essentially fry up more bacon to get more grease out of it. But it's a good use of fat that you usually just throw down the drain or in the trash. And there is a lot of flavor in bacon grease. I mean, if bacon tastes good in the grease, it definitely tastes good. And in the past, I've used the bacon grease in order to make biscuits out of it, and that works pretty well. I'm all about using things that people kind of throw away. I'm always trying to figure out, like, oh, how can I use used up coffee grounds and stuff like that. So this idea came from just me thinking, like, oh man, everybody's making chili crisps, so how can I make it differently? I'm like, okay, well, what about using bacon oil? That's used for all types of different kind of cuisines. You can actually use it for different things, and I'm like, well, why not chili crisps? And you know what? Let's see how well it tastes. But yeah, this is going right now. Let it just render out a little bit more. As you can see, it's getting real crispy already. But you don't want it to be too hot, so I'm going to turn down the heat just a little bit. You definitely want it to render out as much oil as possible. I mean, I could fry up the rest of them, but I think for this batch, this is probably the amount of bacon. You could actually, you can use it all. You can put a ton more bacon there if you want to, but just for this amount, I'm going to just try about 3 pieces of bacon. I can already tell it's getting super crispy. All right, so let me just grind up the rest of the chilies, and we should be good to go. All right, so I'm just going to post this a few times just to break it up. All right, see that? It's looking good. Just a couple more pulses just to get the big pieces. Oh yeah. There we go. That's what you want to see right there. Okay. All right, so I have this pan here. I'm going to dump this all in. I'm sorry, a mixing bowl. Try to get every last piece out. All right. So this right here, this is I put some soy sauce and deglaze the pan I used earlier. I use a carbon steel pan, and there's quite a lot of little bits of bacon that kind of, not really burnt on, but they're stuck onto the pan. And I use a soy sauce to deglaze it. And if I do need to add soy sauce to this, I won't use this soy sauce that I use to deglaze the pan. And the reason why I'm kind of hesitant on adding soy sauce to begin with is because, bacon is super salty to begin with. So you definitely don't want to over salt it. But as you can hear now, like, this bacon is getting super crispy. That's getting super crispy right there. It's almost done. I'm just going to let it sit just a little while longer. I mean, you could drain this and let it even, air dry and get even crispier. But I'm not going to worry about that too much. From this point, I have this amount of chilies. Add my garlic powder. I'm just going to honestly eyeball this. I could measure it, but let's just eyeball it. Probably about maybe 1/4 teaspoon or so. Or maybe 1/2 teaspoon. Some ginger. And the beauty with this is, if you have bacon, you can make this chili crunch super fast. And that's the ginger. Another probably maybe about 1/4 teaspoon or so. I'm going to wait to add the fried garlic and the fried shallots. I'm going to hit it with the hot oil, and then I'm going to add that in after it cools down a little bit. So, but yeah, that's all kind of what we need to do. You have nice crispy bacon here. Well, you can hear it. See how crispy that is. All right. So throw this in here. Oh, that's so crispy already. I can already tell. All right. Okay. And with this bacon oil, I'm gonna reheat it. You want to get the oil pretty hot in order for it to have that kind of sizzle, that kind of, you need to really get that oil hot in order for it to fry the chili, to fry the Sichuan peppers and chili. All right. All right. Okay. Just gonna mix this up. Oh man, that already smells freaking amazing. You can hear how crispy that bacon is. And you know, with this right here, honestly, you could probably sprinkle this on like just about anything. It probably tastes amazing. But if you want to kick it up that extra notch, you know what I mean? You gotta fry that oil, get it really hot in order to release all the flavors from those peppers. And you gotta be careful because, man, this thing's gonna hit your nose once it hits. All right. Let's see, it should be pretty hot. You just hit it, get it to start smoking just a little bit. You don't want it to be like gonna burn the house down, but you want to get it to at least maybe just smoke just a little bit. That's definitely getting hot right there. Put your hands there. Just be careful because the oil will pop if there's any liquid that hits it. That's getting pretty hot. All right. Should be hot enough. Look at this. All right. That should be plenty out. And the good thing with this non-stick pan is it has a little pouring sprout. Here we go. See that sizzle? That's what you want. You want it to sizzle like that. Okay, the rest. The little bits. Wow, this smells already freaking amazing. Okay. And for the most part, you know, you could really call that done. You know, that in itself is probably going to taste pretty freaking amazing. But now, I'm going to cool down just a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to pause it and let it cool down. All right, I'm back. So in order to test out this chili oil, I'm going to fry an egg using that same pan that I was using to heat up the bacon. It's still pretty hot. I have a toast in here. I'm going to go ahead and start toasting my bread. Just gonna make a basic fried egg. And that's kind of the best way. You could eat it with rice, but I think, you know, chili crunch with bacon, chili crunch with a fried egg and toast, I think it's gonna be freaking amazing. There's still a little bit of grease on here, so it should be good to go. Oh yeah. Yeah, so this chili crunch, I think it's gonna go good with a lot of breakfast items. But anything you can put chili crunch on, I think it should be pretty good with this. There you go. Now I'm gonna add in the fried garlic. And this stuff, you can put as much as you like. I'll probably put in like a 1/4 cup there. And the fried shallots. Like I said, buying this will make it so much easier, save you a shit ton of time. Because frying shallots to get it crispy, that takes a little while. There you go. Probably about another 1/4 cup of that. All right. Let's mix it all up. And look at that. I really wish you could smell it. It smells freaking amazing. So look at that chili crunch. So I've not added in the black garlic, but I'm just going to try it without the black garlic to begin with. See how that goes. But yeah, I mean, at this point you could call it done. But I'm going to taste it in a little bit over the eggs. And I'm going to see whether or not I need to add soy sauce to it. You know what? Let me just taste it now. I'm going to taste one little piece now and see. Oh, I forgot to add the sesame. Oops. Sesame seeds. And then, yeah. So about that. That's probably about, you know, a tablespoon or so of sesame seeds. All right. I knew I was forgetting something. Oh, yeah. And the great thing about this is, you know, you let it sit overnight. It's going to taste even better. It may not be as crunchy because the oil is going to soak into the, you know, the fried shallots, but the peppers would definitely wake it up overnight. But let me just taste it. Woo! That is freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. It has a great kick to it. And my egg is almost done. Turn off that heat. Hit it with, no, I'm not gonna even hit it with salt. No salt for this egg. Yeah, that chili crunch is pretty salty, so I'm not gonna add any salt to it. Definitely tastes good. I think I will do some black garlic in there. A lot of the chili crunch recipe out there will put sugar in it. I debated on whether or not to add sugar into this. You know, I can see why people do put sugar into it, just kind of balance out the flavors a little bit. But it's not always necessary because it kind of takes away from the saltiness sometimes. Because, you know, once you even it out, you know, things will not be so salty or so sweet because it's a bit more balanced out. So, yeah, I'm gonna wait to add sugar to this, if at all. We already eat so much sugar in the products we eat already, so not necessarily to put sugar in there. Also, MSG. A lot of people will add MSG to it. And I think that's pretty optional too, especially if you add in the Maggi seasoning. That has some MSG in there. And I think soy sauce, I could be wrong, but I think soy sauce has some MSG in there. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or not, but I think there's some natural MSG in there. All right. Toast is ready. Egg is ready. All right, let's try this out. Got my nice toast here. Got my nice egg here. Alright. Oh yeah, look at this. I mean, come on. Come on, look at that. Tell me that doesn't look freaking amazing. Tell me that does not look freaking amazing. Got me a nice fork. Okay, might need actual, let me get a knife. Oh man, look at that egg. Nice runny fried egg. All right, try it out. Woo! I tell y'all, you gotta try this. You gotta try this recipe. It's freaking amazing. 2 thumbs up. Thank you for watching Cooking with Kane. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, would you like to try this bacon chili crisp? Is it something that you would like to try? I highly recommend it. And until next time, thanks for watching Cooking with Kane.